Hello, hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be with you today. It's been a little while since I was live, and of course, it feels great to be with each of you. So, what I want to talk about and launch into at this moment is because we are in the time of the spring, we see life being reborn and revitalized all around us. So, in nature, especially now that we're in the late part of the spring, we're seeing kind of like a that we've kind of moved on, right, past the winter toward this period of time where things are dark, things are dead, things are not flourishing. We're into a place now in nature around us where there is rebirth, there's regeneration, there is renewal, there's revitalization. And we have the opportunity at all times, but especially right now during this season, to tap into that energy as it lives inside of us. So I want to talk about I think one of the most important aspects of the wood element and the spring is the virtue of kindness. We don't talk a whole lot about kindness, yet we see it around us a lot. And we see the lack of kindness manifesting around us as well. I want to talk about how tapping into kindness as as the field of kindness that lives around us as an energetic field, but also the field of kindness as it lives inside, how we can build that part of ourselves and how we can harness the power of kindness and of the wood element, the spring, to and some of the other virtues associated with spring and the wood element, how we can use that to heal ourselves, to propel ourselves, to energize ourselves. I have a friend here. Hello, sweetheart. Um, my precious kitty. Um, so I want to first talk about defining kindness. So there's a lot of different definitions you hear, and but let's look at it as an expression of care, concern. Often it's based in love, compassion, and generosity. There are a lot of synonyms for kindness. For example, helpfulness, sweetness, thoughtfulness, warmth, friendliness, benevolence, right? The intention to help or to do good for yourself or another. It's just to talk about it in a very general sense about what kindness is. So it's associated with the wood element, which is very important because wood is the element of uprising chi. It's about bringing you up. Oh, goodness gracious. About the, oops. It's about bringing you up from a place where you may be in pain or you might be suffering in one way or another. So kindness is about uplifting. Uh, and it is an antidote to some of the other imbalanced aspects of the wood element. So I'm thinking more specifically of anger, rage, resentment. Antidote, it's like an antidote for coming out of feelings of anger, rage, frustration. These are big parts of what happens in in the wood element inside of us as it becomes imbalanced through life experience. So one of the things I like about kindness so much is that it is so powerful and that it has the power to change us in the moment that we feel it. So you may have had experiences like it shifts, where it shifts your energy and it shifts your mindset. It changes our perspective on the world and on the circumstances that we're in, that it has a lasting and deep change in us when we experience it. And that it also sort of keeps on giving. When someone is kind with us, when we experience kindness, we are in a place where we're able to better access our own qualities, to better express who we are. So when we are kind with ourselves, we sort of have this permission to be, that things are not quite so bad as they might have been even the moment before we experience kindness. And prolonged and lasting kindness on a sustained basis has an even more powerful impact, to have deep fundamental changes that ripple out around us in the world. So it keeps on giving. And so I want to talk a little bit about how we can use kindness. We're going to explore some different aspects of kindness, but how kindness can help us to rise after a loss, after a trauma, after the experience of some pain. So when we talk about the wood element is about uprising, is about bringing life, it's about renewal, it's about coming out of the dark and into the light, into a form of expression. The wood element is about growing and expanding. And we can use this energy of kindness to do just that. When we think about sexuality specifically, the wood element has to do with the energy of desire, and with arousal in the sexual cycle. So when we're feeling our wood element, it's often during those times when we're just starting to feel some sexual arousal. Or because it is so, the wood element and the liver are connected to the eyes, there's a visual component that can happen with that. The appreciation of beauty, whether it's the beauty of another person, of a partner, beauty in ourselves, beauty in nature, beauty in the world around us. So we take this in through, our eyes, this energy. And we can also project it with our eyes. So desire is a main part of sexual arousal, feeling the desire to bond and connect with another, and to connect with yourself, because ultimately we know that sexual energy really starts with our own connection to our own essence. So I want to do a practice with you right now where we tune into kindness and we tune into the energy of our liver. So I want to invite you to close your eyes and put your hand over your liver. And in case you don't know, the liver is located in the upper right quadrant of the abdomen. And it's associated with the gallbladder, with the color green. I want to invite you to, as you inhale, to draw in a luminous green light. And with that, tapping in to the energy of spring and to a vibration of kindness. And I want to invite you to tune into how it feels to you. To just your own internal sense of kindness. think for a moment about how we can enhance our own self-kindness. So as you connect to this part of your body, to your liver, I want you to scan and look first. We're going to do a little bit of a liver cleanse. We're going to look for any feelings of anger, or rage, frustration. See if any of that is present in your liver. And I want to invite you just first to expel, to release that by using the liver sound. And as you inhale now, draw in the beautiful, vibrant green energy of kindness. I want to invite you to take a look inside at one of the first times you ever remember experiencing kindness as it was expressed to you from another person. When did someone express kindness to you? It could be recent, could have been years ago. You can even look at when you first remember ever experiencing kindness from another person. You may have been a very young person at that time. You may have been a child. Might have been from a loved one, friend. And remember how that expression of kindness made you feel. How did that expression of kindness, manifest itself in you? We are having some other technical stuff happening here. as this as this is being recorded. This is funny. Oh goodness. Let me see if I can do something with this. Sharks are not usually associated with kindness. That was my shark vacuum cleaner sort of spontaneously starting and running across my living room here. So let's go back to kindness for a minute. When did you what did you feel inside as you were able to receive an expression of kindness from another person? Now I invite you to explore a situation where you have expressed kindness to another person. We can express kindness through our words, through our deeds, through a glance. There's many ways to express it. So think about sometimes when you have expressed kindness to another person. And now I invite you to think about when you have expressed kindness to yourself. How do you express kindness? In your self-care, perhaps? Do you express kindness perhaps through the food that you eat? What about the things, the thoughts that you say to yourself? See if this could be an avenue for kindness in your life. as, as in this moment, I invite you to express kindness, the energy of kindness, in one way or another to yourself. Feeling a way that you can send a message of kindness. How would you most like to do that in this moment? Now I invite you to look at some ways that we can deal with some life circumstances that may be difficult. How is it that you want to use kindness to support and to heal yourself? What areas in your life need kindness right now within yourself? Are you feeling pain over a situation in your life, over a relationship? Are you expressing or feeling a sense of self-criticism, perhaps, of judgment, coming possibly from yourself or through another? I know people are dealing with some difficult situations, such as breakups, loss, grief. Some people are experiencing a loss of their sexual energy as a result of postpartum changes that are happening in their lives. So we are going to explore in this series on kindness some ways that we can be kind. So again, just inviting you to look at some situations in your life where kindness could be an important tool, an important ally, and a strategy even for dealing with a life situation. Where do you need kindness in your life? The other question might be, where can you apply kindness? Where can you give kindness to another? Is there a situation in your life where kindness could be really helpful? So I want to invite you to even look at perhaps a future situation that you might be encountering in the near future, perhaps a conversation with someone, perhaps just a situation. And I want you to visualize for yourself how you can use kindness in that situation. So it might be a conversation that you expect to have, a condition that you're dealing with. Could it even be part of your own thoughts that you need kindness to deal with? Sometimes self-judgment is one of the hardest things that we deal with. So I invite you to send kindness to yourself to generate and cultivate kindness through activating your liver, through connecting your liver to your heart. Say, how can I use compassion, kindness, sweetness, benevolence in the situation? And what effect can that have on others around me? Because this is a perfect time of year to embrace the energy of kindness. And lastly, I want to invite you to spread this energy of kindness from your liver out to all the other organs, tissues, and cells of your body. Let kindness radiate out to every part of yourself. And then come back to the room. All of us who are here. So I want to invite you to take a look at any realizations you may have had during this time. Perhaps jot them down, put them in a journal, and look at how kindness can help you. We're going to be tapping into this in some other ways and some other powerful ways as we go through this series. But I'd like to hear from you about some of the things that you would like for me to address with you. We are going to be addressing using kindness after a loss, during times of grief, using it in some relationship difficulties, using it in postpartum loss of libido, loss of, or changes that happen as a result of giving birth, having children, of supporting and sustaining others. So I'd love to hear from you about how we can address what areas of your life can we address with kindness. What areas of your life do you want to bring changes into? What do you want to transform? We can explore this together. So I thank you for being with me today. I look forward to hearing about your comments, about what realizations you might have had about kindness, and also about how we can use kindness going forward. Have a beautiful day.